Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jonathan Sellers.
And I'm Danielle Percival. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Sports. Well, coming off a close loss to Western Kentucky, the men's basketball team was back on the home court Saturday night. While it might not have been the down-to-the-wire finish the men's team's been seeing lately, there's nothing wrong with having a comfortable lead either. In Trojan Arena, you don't see that every game. But when you win by 19, you've earned the right to be a little flashy. Troy beat Louisiana Lafayette 71-52 Saturday for the team's largest margin of victory this season.
It's probably our best overall game of the year because we played both ends of the court very well.
The men's basketball team has now won 3 out of 4, and Maestri says their success can be attributed to team chemistry.
They really did a good job collectively. There's no question they developed better chemistry, and that's something that may help them down the road. I do think they are better as a group than they were a few weeks ago.
In 2 of the last 3 games, every Trojan who has hit the court has made a basket, and Maestri says that helps build the unity of a team.
I think when you score and you win, you feel like you contributed. You're a part of the thing, and when the group does well, then you're a piece of that group and you've contributed, you really feel good.
Maestri says this group has matured not only in their play on the court, but also in their understanding of the word team.
When everybody starts getting excited about what the other guy's doing, you forget about yourself and you start really wanting them to look good. When Josh Warren's out there hustling or Ray makes free throws, you start appreciating the other guy on your team. That goes a long way on the court for team chemistry.
But on Thursday, the close games returned with a tough battle against South Alabama. Emil Jones had a career night, but it wasn't enough to help the Trojan men's basketball team defeat South Alabama in Mobile. The Trojans fell to the Jaguars 65-62. Emil Jones led the Trojans with a career-high 21 points. Troy shot 39% from the field and 24% from beyond the arc. The Jaguars were 18 of 43 from the field and 5 of 16 from beyond the arc. And the Trojans were out-rebounded 35-28. The women were also part of the doubleheader this past Saturday night at home and accomplished something they'd been looking to do all season. The Trojans might not be in the conference race this year, but they did pick up their first Sun Belt win of the season Saturday with a 68-61 victory over Louisiana Lafayette.
A lot of teams would have given up by now. A lot of teams would have given up. That's just not the character of kids that we have in this program. They are first in character, and it shows it tonight because they could have given up a long time ago. We wouldn't have been in this ball game. But they were in it from the beginning, and then a good thing happened. I could see it on their faces at the point where they said, we're not going to lose, we don't have to, and we're not going to. Kind of came over, and I knew we were in control of the game at that point on.
The win ended a 10-game losing streak and gave Troy its 4th victory of the season, doubling their total from last year.
We had to keep believing in something we couldn't see. And this is a good example of one that had. I mean, she keeps fighting, doesn't give up, and she wants to prove before she leaves this her senior year, what a good team we have. And tonight was a good start.
When you pick up your first conference victory of the season, it makes for a memorable night. But for senior Sarah McCapian, Saturday's victory was special for more than one reason.
My dad says he's the lucky charm. He came my freshman year and we won 6 in a row. And then, so now he's here until conference.
Way to go, Phil.
So we've got 10 games, 11 games left, so.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Coming off their first conference victory of the season, they were looking to make it 2 in a row Wednesday night. However, South Alabama had a different idea. The Trojans lost to the Jags 74-58 and only shot 34% from the floor. Joanna Harden led all scorers in the game with 19 points, and Sarah McCapian followed up a solid performance in her last outing by putting up another 13 points and 7 boards. Troy managed to force 23 turnovers and scored 25 points off those mistakes by the Jags. The Trojans also stepped up on defense in the second half and outscored the Jaguars 37-35.
For any real college football fan, Wednesday was the start of the 2013 season as coaches eagerly awaited signatures of high school football players. The Trojans added 21 players in the 2013 recruiting class, including players from 8 different states. 12 of those are from right here in Alabama. The highlight is on defense, where Troy reeled in 2 4-star recruits, linebacker Sam Levy from Maryland and cornerback Keon Payne from Florida. Head coach Larry Blakeney says the recruits they landed filled in the gaps on the team.
I think we've done a solid job replenishing the guys, personnel, and getting guys that are good enough students to come in here and get the job done academically.
Sam was a really good player that that was highly recruited, coming out of the math, and then he went to Atlanta Sports Academy and got his grades and got qualified, and we're excited about having him.
Troy signed 11 offensive players and 13 defensive guys. 5 guys were signed for each side of the line, and the position with the most recruits was defensive back.
The women's indoor track and field team competed at the Middle Tennessee Invitational Saturday, and there were several personal and season bests. 3 Trojans advanced to the finals in the 55-meter dash, with JaCourtney Alexander leading them with a time of 7.13 seconds, tying her record for 4th all-time. Morgan Paulson competed in the mile run, finishing with a time of 5 minutes, 22.54 seconds, and moved into 6th all-time in program history. Troy also took 2nd and 3rd in the high jump, with both Christina Barrett and Veronica Bryant jumping 1.63 meters. And for the first time this season, a Trojan track and field athlete has been awarded Sunbelt Track and Field Athlete of the Week. Senior JaCourtney Alexander won her preliminary heat in the 55-meter dash with a time of 7.16 seconds at the MTSU Invitational, then placed 2nd in the finals with a season-best time of 7.13 seconds. That time moves her to number 4 in the Sunbelt, and she was also the heat winner in the 200-meter dash and moved to number 5 in the Sunbelt with a time of 25.05 seconds.
Before baseball and softball got a chance to take the field, they had an opportunity to thank the fans cheering them from the stands. Courtney Addison has more.
With springtime right around the corner, the Troy baseball and softball team took a day off from practice to interact with the community. Sunday, the gates of Riddle Pace Field were open, and fans from all over stood in line to meet and grab an autograph from their favorite players and coaches.
Oh, it was a great turnout, a beautiful day to have fan day, great crowd. I mean, I was so appreciative of the number of fans that came out.
To have this big crowd come out and these girls literally spend a long time filling out autographs for young fans, that's really, really a good sign for the great support we should have all season.
Both Pierce and Davis introduced their team and coaching staff. They also gave a short bio about each player. Davis added that she feels it is important for the fans to know more about the players than just the number they wear on their back. Though these 2 coaches are in charge of separate programs, they both agree that one common thing is a factor to their success: support from their fans.
I think players really feed off of the crowd and the intensity of it. There's nothing like playing at Riddle Pace when the stands are full. And, I really can't remember us not winning a game when we've had that much energy from our fans kind of around. So it means a lot. Certainly think our players play better when they're here and they're loud and help us with the momentum of the game.
To have the stands filled to capacity, we love showing what we can do for the fans, and our kids go around after the games and go around and shake the fans' hands and make sure that they're welcome to come on the field and be a part of the activities, because we really appreciate the fans' support, so it just means the world to them.
Pierce also said Fan Day gives young players the incentive to practice and work harder. Courtney Addison, Trojan Sports Now.
The second class in the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame was announced this week, and 8 former Trojan student athletes, administrators, and coaches will be inducted in April. John Archer, former men's basketball coach; John Doc Anderson, former track and field and cross country coach; Bobby Insland, Danny Grant, Willie Tullis, and Lawrence Tynes, all former Troy football players; Chan Gailey, a former head football coach at Troy; Joyce Sorrell, best known as a former head coach of the women's basketball team. All of those individuals will be inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame during the T-Club weekend on April 20th.
The men's tennis team ended the weekend with a marathon match that didn't go their way, while the women had a strong start to Sunbelt play. The men began the weekend with a loss against Florida Gulf Coast 5-2. Anas Ruchti and Sammy Gorbel picked up the points in the loss. In a match that was nearly 5 hours, the Trojans dropped a heartbreaker to Florida Atlantic 4-3 on Sunday. The Trojans won the doubles point, while Daniel Bustamante and Gorbel picked up singles wins. On Saturday, the women's team picked up a W on the road at Arkansas Little Rock. Troy won the doubles point and the singles at 2, 3, and 4 seeds. The Trojans picked up the weekend sweep with a 4-1 win over Arkansas State. The women are now 2-1 on the season.
Trojan Sports Now.